Hi everybody. Hello everybody. Sanbonani, welcome to my channel. Guys, I don't know what's happening with YouTube. Not YouTube, with Facebook. Let me just something is happening. For some reason I can't stream to Facebook. Okay, anyway, I'll fix it later. Welcome to my channel, Kamalam Guntanam Ledge, and on this channel, Skulumangama Reality, TV shows, ama celebrities, kanye nama YouTubers. If it's your first time joining me today and you really like my content, do not forget to press the subscribe button, langezans, and the notification bell. And if you're joining me from Facebook or Twitter, you can also like and follow me over there as well, because we're growing our family over there. Okay, so on this live, you guys, I want to do the review of the show Unfollowed, because Jub Jub was on Unfollow recently. Okay, and I was looking forward to this interview, you guys. I was looking forward to this interview. So but let me say this, overall I think that I walked away from the interview liking Jub Jub less than I did before. Okay, and I also walked away feeling like now it's like I'm moving more into believing that the accusations might true. You remember, you guys, I'm not the judge. I'm not the judge, I'm not the jury. But I'm just saying that when I walked out of that interview, I was feeling that way. But we're going to talk about what happened in that interview, how he answered the questions, what are the things that concerned me when it comes to that interview, things that I felt like, okay, I would have loved to hear more from. Okay, I don't know, you guys, if for Unfollowed, they do have some agreements as to what they get to talk about. If a person is allowed to say, listen, I don't want to touch on this issue. And I think that that would make the interview difficult, because I think that those sit downs are supposed to be revealing for us, the viewers. But sometimes you kind of feel like there are issues that are being avoided with each and every person that has sat on the chair. Sometimes you feel like there are issues that they don't touch on. Okay, and I feel like with Jub Jub, they never really touched on his parenting, you know, and maybe his relationship, the existing or non-existing relationship between him and his son. I would have loved to hear more of that. I would have loved to hear more about his relationship with Kelly Kumalo, maybe about their co-parenting relationship, if there is any. But none of the questions were asked when it comes to him being a father. So I would have loved for him to give us a little bit more of an insight into that. So I don't know if maybe it was edited out, or maybe they had agreed before the interview began that that is not something that he was willing to talk about, because maybe it concerns his kids, you guys. So listen, you guys, I like that they went back to talking about, you know, how Jub Jub grew up, and how he was a child star, and because it gives us perspective as to who Jub Jub was when the whole incident with the passing of those kids during that accident. Basically, it gives you a picture of who he was, because of course he was this big artist, but also the background was he was a child star and he was sport. Okay, so they go back to that, you guys, even start to talk about the day of incident. Okay, number one, you guys, I did feel like I always feel like when somebody wears sunglasses during the interview, like it kind of feels like they're avoiding contact. Okay, and I kind of feel like even with him, there's probably a reason why he chose to wear sunglasses during the interview, you know. So maybe he does not want us to be reading too much into how he is moving his eyes when he's being creative with the answers, okay? Or he just didn't want to look at the interviewer in the eye, or he didn't want the interviewer to be able to look at him in the eye. Because I'm sure, I mean, he can be honest, you guys, but I'm sure in some questions he can't really be 100% honest, especially because some of these things that he was getting to talk about are in court, so they are legal matters, you guys. So I'm at some point as to the things that I felt like I wanted to discuss when it comes to the interview, okay? Anyway, it goes into the background of when he was younger. Of course, he was more into soccer than music, so he thought he was going to make it as a soccer star, but then he ended up making it in music. He talks about how he feels like he made the right choice because he's very comfortable, okay? And he says that he talks about him making a lot of money in present tense, so meaning that he is saying that he's making a lot of money right now. He's very comfortable right now, and of course they don't really get into whether that's because of him doing the show that he's doing on Moja Love, or it's more the money he makes from the music. But when I thought about it, you guys, because remember, not so long ago, there's a girlfriend, Jub Jub, that came out to say that she is actually the one that's taking care of Jub Jub financially, and he was living with this girlfriend. I don't know if that story was true. And she even revealed that from Moja Love, he actually gets around, was it 55,000 or 45,000 per season. That's the only money that he gets because that's the only job that he had. That was at the time, you guys, which I think it's over a year ago. I think that I suspected, guys, I might be wrong, but I suspected because remember, not so long ago, early this year, Jub Jub was, there were reports that Jub Jub is suing Moja Love, okay, for millions of rent. And then after that, because he had lost his job, remember? So, and then after that, everything went quiet. And then instead of us hearing about the court case, he came back to his job. Okay, so he came back to We Are Jola 99. Okay, I do feel like they must have settled out of court. Okay, so maybe he didn't get the whole of, was it what he was suing for, what, 55 million? I can't remember, you guys, how much, but it was a lot of money. So even if he settled for half of that, and then he was like, okay, just pay me this much and then give me my job back. And I kind of felt like maybe they paid him a lot of money to settle out of court with that case. That's why he's speaking so comfortably when he's talking about his finances. He says that he's very comfortable. So he's happy with the choices that he made in his life, I guess, to pursue music. Okay. I think it wouldn't have made sense, obviously, if they didn't talk about, the accident, the car crash. So let's go, guys. I expected that if Jub Jub talks about the incident, it's going to be more about how much damage they caused that day, him and his friend, but it became more about what he lost. Because when he's asked about that day, he says, imagine going to bed one night and then waking up and everything is taken away. That's how he refers to it. He says, it was a Monday. I had even forgotten that the accident happened on a Monday. On a Sunday, they went to church. I'm surprised that they were still going to church because at the time, it was the time when he was with Kelly Kumalo, and there were rumors that they were mostly under the influence either of alcohol or other things. Okay, so I'm surprised that they were still going to church, went to church, came back. Everything is nice, they're happy. And then the following day, the accident happened. Okay, so it really did. That's why I said that I walked out of that interview kind of feeling like I liked Jub Jub a little bit less than I did before because of that interview, because I kind of feel like as much as he is saying prison helped him a lot, and I'm sure it did, you guys, but I do feel like he's not fully taking accountability of that day. It's about him. It's about how much he lost. It's like that day, everything was taken away from him. Even the interviewer was like, what do you mean taken away? Taken away by you, because you are the one that made a choice to be under the influence of whatever it is that you were under the influence of that day, and then got into a car, and you made a decision to race with somebody on a road that was full of children, school children, and I was disappointed, you guys, that is how he initially was answering that question. The interviewer does get to have him to say, listen, it probably was because of the choices that I made that day, you guys. In addition to that, he also says that, you know what, I wish that I had said no, and the interviewer does ask, what do you mean you wish you would have said no? I wish I would have said no to the influence. Okay. It kind of makes me feel like he's not taking 100% accountability. It's almost like he's saying, I was influenced that day, and because of the influence, I made the wrong decisions and ended up losing everything. Okay. Did you lose more than the mothers that lost their kids, though? I think that whatever that incident, when it is being spoken about, I feel like it should be more about what those mothers lost than what he lost. Because what did he lose exactly, you guys? He lost freedom for a couple of years. He lost, money because he had to pay lawyers and all of that. But he's back on his feet now. But those mothers will never get their kids back. So I don't understand why, when he finally gets to speak about the incident, he speaks about it as if it's what happened to him. I lost everything. Everything was taken away from me because I was influenced, I guess, by friends, because he was with a friend that day. So there was a disappointing answer for me. I don't want to lie, you guys. I did not like that. Okay. So I think the interviewer was good, though, at getting him to kind of see that it was because of the decisions that he made. He has to admit that that day, some of the things that happened is because of the decisions that he himself made. It can't be 100% because you were influenced, okay? And he does, eventually say, obviously it's because of the decisions that I made. But the fact that when he thinks about that day, his initial thought is how much I lost that day. I woke up with everything. I woke up on top of the world. And then by the end of the day, I had lost everything. For me, it didn't sit well when it comes to this interview. Okay. So, and then they asked him about prison, you guys. When they say, how was prison? His initial response is a smile. I don't know if he smiles because, of course, he's thinking, of course, I can never be able to explain how prison was like, and I don't know, you guys. I feel like if a child, let's say a teenager, is watching Jub Jub talk about prison, even though his words, he said with his words that prison is like 10 times or 100 times what you think. The worst thing that you think about prison, it's 100 times that. Okay, he does say something like that. But his demeanor while he's talking about prison, you guys, I feel like if my teenage son was watching that, I don't feel like he would feel like I am so scared to go to prison. I feel like it's almost like I kind of feel like he was a celebrity even in prison. But of course, he can't come out here and say, guys, prison is fun, okay? I was living the life in prison. I was getting everything that I needed. I was a celebrity in prison because his demeanor said that. But even though he was saying something different, but I feel like his demeanor is saying something different, And so I kind of felt like we want our kids, when people are coming out of prison, we want them to tell us the horrible stories about prisons so that our kids can just know that, don't commit any crime so that they don't end up in prison. So there was that, you guys. But anyway, he does say that prison is worse than you can ever think, you guys. They do get to talking about the biggest mistake. I think following the incident, by the way, guys, the car crash, he does say that situation, even now, it's the worst thing that has ever happened to him. Okay, not the worst thing that he doesn't say that is the worst thing I've ever done, because they did something. They raced those cars while under the influence. Okay, there's a difference in somebody saying that is the worst thing I've ever done, and then somebody saying that is the worst thing that has ever happened to me. That day didn't happen to Jub Jub, guys. Jub Jub and his friend did something that day that landed them in prison. I don't feel like he looks at it like that. It's like it happened to me. Like he's a victim that day. But I'm like, you are not a victim. You actually caused victims. You created victims that day. Okay, that I can't get over, guys. I can't get over it. That's why I say that this interview made me like him less because there's just an arrogance about him, an entitlement about him, you guys. And I've said to somebody that, listen, Kelly Kumalo has tried to tell us something about Jub Jub that we never listened. Kelly Kumalo once said Jub Jub is very entitled and said Jub Jub is the type of person that doesn't think certain rules apply to him. And I remember that statement when I was watching this interview. Okay. Anyway, guys, he talks about the second, worst mistake of his life, which was going on MacG podcast and Chill. Okay. What happened with that? He said that he had this idea with the podcast that he was just going somewhere to chill with the boys. Okay, so when he got there, they sat down, he got carried away. Okay, which it does look like that, you guys. It did look like they got carried away, but I still don't understand because he was away. I mean, the podcast at the time was already big. Okay, it was already big. There were already people that had gone on that podcast and had said some things and trended. So he already knew how powerful MacG's podcast was at the time. Okay, but he talks about it like he did not expect that it was going to be such a big deal. It was just them chilling as guys and talking. And he says he did get carried away. He does regret saying the things that he said about Kelly Kumalo, and that is the reason that he did apologize for saying what he said about her bewitching him. I think there was something about Kelly Kumalo using Umoti. And the interviewer does ask him, had it not been for the backlash from the public, because of course, after he had said what he said, people were like, that is very disrespectful. How can you say it? It wasn't even Kelly Kumalo that said it. It was just the public that, was like, this is wrong for you to say. Okay, so he does ask, had it not been for the public, the backlash from the public, would you have apologized? And he lies and says yes. Guys, if you talk about somebody privately with somebody in Nikosipa, privately, and they never find out that you said the thing, would you go to the person and say, listen, when I was talking privately with this person, this is what I said about you, and it was wrong for me to say that, even though the other person didn't hear you say it? I was like, that doesn't make sense. Had Jub been sitting with the gents somewhere at a pub, and then they were talking, and he said, Ukeli Kumalu Yatagat. And then later on, when he's in the house, he's like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. He would have picked up the phone and apologized to Kelly Kumalu, even though Kelly Kumalu wouldn't have known that he said that. I was like, that is a lie. He wouldn't apologize. I totally think that he apologized. He might have reflected back after the backlash, because of course when you get the backlash and then people are posting about it, people are talking about it, then you're going to reflect. You're a person, you're going to reflect and be like, and what did I do wrong? And then you're going to be like, okay, maybe I went too far. I think that's the reason that he apologized. If he is trying to say to us that even if that statement was not on the podcast, MacG's podcast, he will still apologize because he would have felt bad. Still, I don't believe it. Okay, I feel like there's a lie there somewhere, you guys. Now we get to another thing now with the accusations, you guys. Remember, at the time that they shot the show, this was before Jub Jub was arrested and got bail. But there were accusations that were already made. That's why when Chebegile is asking him about the allegations, he's only referring to 2 women, because at the time we did not know that there was going to end up being 3 women that were accusing Jub Jub. Okay, so he asked about the accusations, you guys. This is a thing, you guys. Listen, if you ask me if I have ever asked somebody, okay, I am coming out like I'm straightforward about it. I did not add anybody. I have never asked anybody. I will never ask anybody. And I will talk about how wrong adding somebody is. Okay. I'm not going to talk about the Lord Jesus Christ, heaven and hell, the justice system, the politics, the voting day, the IEC, the EFF. I'm not going to talk about that, but that's what he does. He gets all political. We live in the world now where a woman can go into a police station, men are scared to be accused. No, but this is about you. This is about the accusations made against you. What do you have to say about it? Okay. I didn't get any denial. Okay. I did not get any denial, except that he talks more about how men are easily falsely accused now of R. Okay. And we can't deny that that happened, you guys, but we can't get away from the fact that, maybe if 5 people are reporting the R, it doesn't mean that all 5 are lying. Possibly 4 of those women are telling the truth. Okay. But it wasn't even about the general stuff. It was about him, because you are the person that has been accused by 2 women, because at the time he was only accused by 2. What do you have to say about that? Okay. He goes into the whole thing of I belong to God. So at the end of the day, we will see whatever. He did not deny and say, listen, I never, art this person. I never. We were in a relationship. Maybe we were in a relationship. We did get intimate. It was all, consensual. And what's the word? And we agreed to do it. Okay, let me make the English simple. We agreed to do it. And just that, you guys, he doesn't give that. He just becomes like, oh, political, the guys now are falsely accused. Now women can easily go to this place and whatever. But he goes around it and around it and around it and around it until they have to move on. Okay. I do feel like I wish that Tebegile had said, okay, I hear you are preaching, but did you do this? Yes or no? Okay. I know he might have still avoided answering the question because it is a legal matter, but I would have loved for the question to just, for Tembegile to insist on asking the question, did you do it? And for us to get the answer. Okay. So he goes around and around, talk about the false accusation, how men are now easily falsely accused and whatever. By the time he was done answering that question, I was like, Jub Jub. Like, I was like, okay, all right. All right. I guess we'll wait for court then. I guess we'll wait for court because you're not willing to answer the question. Okay, Tamagila didn't get anything from him as far as that is concerned, you guys. He was talking about being attacked by the devil, yena unamadlozi, and he's the son of the Lord and all of that. Okay, in answering the question of the accusation. Okay. And they do get into, oh yes, you guys, let me tell, okay, this is another thing that I was like, you are losing me, Jub Jub. So now he goes into saying, listen, I have a sister. Okay. Mind you guys, he's been talking about the justice system. He talks about the fact that he regrets what happened with the incident of the car crash. He regrets that. But he doesn't regret going to prison because, of course, prison helped him, which is what the prison is supposed to do. It's supposed to rehabilitate you, okay? He came out of prison not addicted to anything, but when he went in, he looked like he might have been, on something. You understand what I'm saying? So if you're being real, the prison system, the justice system worked for him because when he came out, he was all ready to integrate into the society. He was all ready to work. And when we saw that, okay, we are seven right, some of us started liking him. This is before we knew about the accusations. Okay, so now he says here he's got a sister, and if his sister came to him and told him that a man had asked her, he would not ask any question. He would not wait for the justice system because he does not believe in South African justice system. I'm like, the same justice system that helped you, now you don't trust it when it comes to R. When it comes to M, it works because you went to court, you were tried, convicted, and then we went to prison. But then when it comes to R, you don't trust the justice system. Does that make sense, guys? So you trust the justice system when it comes to the thing that you were caught doing. This one that we're not sure because we were not there, that one we can't trust the justice system. So if somebody did that to his sister, he will take the law into his own hands and not wait for the justice system because he does not trust the justice system. It does not make sense. It doesn't make sense. So does that mean that with you too being accused of the R, that if somebody really is convinced that you did it, then they can take the law into their own hands because we don't have to wait for the justice system, because justice system only works when people have taken people's lives, but it doesn't work when people have AS'd people, especially women. Okay. It did not make sense to me, you guys. Okay. It did not make any sense. Anyway, guys, he does talk about the cancel culture. He does have a little bit of an arrogance about it because he talks about how he's been a star since he was 12 years old and all of that. Okay. I do feel like Jub Jub, you guys, is uncancelable, honestly, you guys. That's why I've been asking questions of what is canceling somebody, you know, because Jub Jub has been able to work. You know, he's still active on social media when he wants to. He says that people manage his social media, he doesn't do it himself. But you know, I don't see any canceling when it comes to Jub Jub. He's still able to do what he wants to do. He's still living, he's still providing for himself. So I kind of do feel like, you know, that's why he's so arrogant, because he is cancelable. Okay, he came back after that accident, you guys. He came back, he was able to integrate to society, he got some jobs, he was able to work. Even now with the three R's accusations, he's still working. So I do kind of feel like, no, he is not cancelable. I do feel like that, you guys. Anyway, listen, I still do feel like, you guys, I don't know what happened with, I don't know why it's reaching under my hand. I'm still standing by my words of, when it comes to the accusations, we can look at the information that we have, what people are saying, and we can make conclusions. Some people might feeling like, you know what, Jub Jub did it. Some people might be feeling like Jub Jub didn't do it. But at the end of the day, the people that know exactly what happened, it's him and it's the women. Okay. But if you had to ask me right now, do I believe him or the women? I'll be like, I think I believe it, you guys. For now, okay. Tomorrow something else might come up or come out, and then people will say something else, and then I'll be like, I don't believe it. Okay. Anyway, I'm not the judge. Okay, I'm not the judge and the jury, so it won't affect him. But walking out of that interview, I was like, I think that honestly, he would have been. I wish he would have been straightforward with the answers when it came to the accusations. The fact that he just became inlegu all of a sudden when it came to answering those questions, I was like, okay. Anyway, you guys, that's all that I wanted to talk about when it comes to this interview. Mbali Mabasa, thank you so much for the KFC. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Evening, everyone. Evening. I thought you guys are sleeping. You were going to get this one in the morning. Zamam Tiane. Zamam Tiane. Thank you so much for being here. Balamaba. So with the super sticker. Boo, 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 boo. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Whereas I'm addicted to umgosi, not just umgosi. No one umgosi is addictive, guys. Okay. Afternoon, the real network. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. I did an interview. He was not remorseful at all about the incident. No, he's not remorseful about the incident. And yeah, I wonder what how his defense is going to, be when it comes to the R's, you guys. But even the R's, I was like, Jub Jub, And I went into the interview, you guys, with the thing of I'm giving him I want to hear him out because Jub Jub doesn't do a lot of interviews. And the last interview I saw of him was MacG, which all went wrong. Okay. So I was wanting to give him a chance. I was wanting to hear him out. And I'm like, you're not doing a good job. Okay. Not doing a good job at all at convincing me that you did not do this. Okay. Hello, Mom Gabozi. Hello, hello, hello. He really apologized because of the backlash. I think so too. I think so. It just doesn't make sense for him to say, even if it was private, you would have apologized. Who does that? Okay. Who does that? People apologize when they get caught. Okay. Hello, Gossip Addict. Walk with all. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. From pillow to your heart. Hello. Make it make sense. Nunu Rai's voice. Yes, make it make sense. To watch the channel, make it make sense. Oh, I love that guy. I love that guy on that channel. It's the American YouTuber. The channel is called Make It Make Sense. Jub Jub interview made me so mad. Even now I'm falling. I know. I mean, it left me like, hi man, Jub Jub. Like, you're not making sense, okay? You're not making sense at all, okay? And then everyone is innocent in that and followed. Hey, I guess, they can't just come and admit to everything. But with him, I guess maybe I could understand the current accusations because of course everything is still in the court system. But I think with the accident, he served time, and I thought you guys he had grown from that. He had learned from it because, of course, the Jub Jub that went to prison, it didn't look like it was the Jub Jub that came out. So I'm expecting that he's going to be taking accountability, and no Jub Jub. He still doesn't understand, at least from what I heard from the interview, he still doesn't understand what he did that day. Because another thing, you guys, the parents of the kids might have said, we forgive you. Because you guys, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I mean, you have to move on as a parent, and if a person has gone to prison and they've served the time and the court system is saying, listen, we think that this person is ready to come out. And it's not like if he spends 3 more years in prison, then your child is going to come back. Your child is gone. You might just get to a point as a parent to be like, you know what, for my peace sake, I just need to forgive this person so that I can move on for my sake. Okay. So I do understand parents if they did, because I'm not sure that they did, if they did say they forgive him. Okay. But it does not mean that they wouldn't like to see him fully take accountability and responsibility for the actions or the decisions he made that day that led to the passing of their children. It doesn't mean that they wouldn't want to see that. And it would have been great for this to be that. But yeah, we don't know. Maybe he did get to speak to them previously, because I believe that if you go to prison and you get to you are paroled, the victims get to have a contribution as to whether they think that they are comfortable with you being released or not. I don't know if it makes a difference if they say they don't want you to be released, but they are informed about the plans to release you. So I can understand why parents would probably get to a point where they're like, you know what, we forgive him. But if I was one of the parents, I think that I would like to hear him just say, listen, I made bad decisions that day. And I took something so precious from so many people. And I can never be able to forgive myself for that. Instead of it being like, that day I woke up with everything. I woke up on top of the world. By the end of the day, everything was taken from me. Who took it? You took it away from yourself. Okay. Anyway, you guys, they do have like a back and forth, but I like Ututambegile is not intimidated by these people. He grew up around celebrities, the way that he does not get intimidated at all when he's interviewing these celebrities, even when they're getting mad and they're trying to intimidate him. They really did a good job with this show, you guys, in terms of choosing the person to interview these people. I really feel like that. Whether we agreed with the people that were part of the show, because there's some people that I'm like, why were you here? Umenywe kanjani? But it was a good one. I believe this was the last one, if I'm not mistaken. This was the last one. Okay, but they did well with this show, you guys. Anyway, that's all, you guys, I wanted to do. I think I'll see you in the morning. Of course, we're not waking up at 7. It's a Saturday. Maybe we'll do like 9 a.m. or something, or 10 a.m. Okay, so let me mark the register. Mbale Mabaso was here. Zamam Tiane was here. And Mbali Mabaso bought our supper tonight. She's the breadwinner of the family, guys. Please, thelelani umbala amanzi okugeza. Yawazi ama-breadwinner ukuthi ama-breadwinner aphathwa kanjani emakhaya. Kuthiwa thelelani amanzi okugeza. Hey, usisi usedlile. Hey, usedlile. Mwasheleni icathulo, mwasheleni ophaqa bakhe. Hey, breadwinner. Umbali it's a breadwinner. Thelelani amanzi okugeza. The real Nemo was here too. And Mom Gobozi, Walk with Awe, it's here. Hello, Pillow. If you want to get some motivation, positive stuff, okay, go to from Pillow to Your Heart. Her channel is very positive, you guys. I go there for some motivation with her shorts. So yes, you guys, thank you so much for being here. Let's give Tembegile his friend. Honestly, you guys, he's a good interviewer. And he's very young. Hey, he's very young. I like him. How he handled it. I liked how he handled Fat Joe. He was not intimidating, and I think Fat Joe was like on purpose trying to intimidate him. I think also Jub Jub did try, but he didn't win. Yeah, he did well. He did what I loved how he handled this show. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for joining me so late at night. Those who were not able to join, I guess they will get to watch it back. Thank you so much. Please like the stream, like it. It's free to like. I need to figure out what's happening with Facebook, because for some reason it's the second time now I can't connect to Facebook. I don't know, maybe something expired or something in my connection. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please share the video with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers in Itanda.